Millions of fans thought Silverstone was about to get a one-lap sprint to the finish, but instead the checkered flag fell behind the safety car. And many of us remain confused, so what actually happened? As Max Verstappen's late crash brought out the safety car, the expectation was that Formula 1 would clear the incident quickly enough for one final lap of racing. But before racing can resume, there's an important rule. If there are any lapped cars between the safety car and the race leaders, they're usually allowed to overtake and unlap themselves so the leaders can restart without backmarkers getting in the way. Whilst that process was happening, race control displayed the message every fan wanted to see: safety car in this lap. It looked like we were about to get a dramatic shootout between Charles Leclerc, George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. But just moments later, nothing happened. The safety car stayed out, the message disappeared, and the race finished under caution instead, leaving fans at Silverstone completely confused. The FIA has now explained exactly why. They say the safety car in this lap message was displayed because of a software error. More importantly, once the unlapping procedure had begun, the sporting regulations required another full lap before racing could resume. That meant there simply weren't enough laps remaining to restart the race legally. Even though the incorrect message briefly appeared, the FIA says the regulations were followed correctly once the mistake was identified. And those safety car rules were enforced elsewhere too. Carlos Sainz became the first driver to receive a rare one-lap penalty after incorrectly unlapping himself during the confusion. It didn't affect the points because he was already outside the top 10, but it shows just how strictly the FIA applied the regulations at the end of the race. It's a reminder of how much Formula 1 has changed after Abu Dhabi 2021. Back then, the FIA was heavily criticised for not applying the safety car rules consistently. Since then, race control has taken a far stricter approach, even if it sometimes produces an anticlimactic finish. And that's where the debate really begins. Should Formula 1 always prioritise following the rulebook exactly, even if it means finishing behind the safety car? Or should there be more flexibility to allow racing whenever it's safe to do so? Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff supported the FIA's decision, saying that the sport should never sacrifice sporting integrity simply to create a spectacle. Even race winner Charles Leclerc admitted he would have preferred a normal racing finish, but accepted the decision. So while the software error caused confusion, it didn't actually change the result. The rules left race control with virtually no option but to finish behind the safety car. Was it a disappointing finish? Absolutely. Every fan would have loved to see one final lap of racing at Silverstone. But Formula 1 also has to protect the integrity of its rulebook. If the FIA starts bending regulations for the sake of entertainment, it becomes much harder for teams and drivers to trust that those same rules will be applied consistently in the future. Sometimes the fairest decision isn't the most exciting one. And while finishing behind the safety car wasn't the ending anyone wanted, following the regulations was probably the right call in the long run. Join me throughout the week for all the coverage.